Yes, good afternoon, my dear viewer. I'm going to show you how to draw a solid ground floor. So in a solid ground floor, we have our foundation concrete, which is here. And this foundation concrete is 690 millimeter by the depth of 230. Then next to it, we have our external wall. So in the external wall, we have our overside concrete, which is coming and covering. We call it side concrete because it covers the whole side. And then the dimension of the side concrete is 100 millimeter thick. Then we have also the hard core, which is here. The hard core is directly on the ground or on the maram. The hard core depth for simple buildings normally is 150 millimeter. So you can see it is 150 millimeter. But the size of the concrete, the depth of the concrete or the thickness of the concrete is 100 millimeter. The depth of side concrete. This one we call it side concrete, or sometimes we call it overside concrete. But this one here is a foundation concrete. And foundation concrete, as I said before, is 690 by 230. It depends on the designs. Some design you find that this size of the concrete can even be up to 1 meter by maybe 300 millimeter. But for our design, 230 thickness is enough. Then we have here the ground level. We abbreviated G/L. This is the ground level. Then our external wall is having a thickness of 230 millimeter. So that is our external wall. So I want to show you step by step how to draw this. So we are going to use a number of drawing equipments. So we are going to use a number of drawing equipments to come up with this. So this is our drawing sheet, and the drawing sheet size that we are using today is A4 paper. And A4 paper, it is the one we are using today. So we are going to take this drawing, which is sketch, and we are going to perform a complete scale drawing. And our scale that we are using today is 1 to 10. We are going to use scale of 1 to 10. So we have to use drawing board, T-square, and then the set square. So I'm going to pick the set square, which we are going to use for our drawing. We are going to start with drawing the foundation line. So the foundation line is supposed to be 690 millimeters. So I am drawing the line for the foundation. So this is the line for our foundation. And if I'm to measure it, this should be 690 millimeters. So I'm going to measure 690 millimeters for our foundation. So now, what I'm going to do is to draw this foundation, and the depth is supposed to be 230 millimeters. So if I'm to measure, it should be 230 millimeters. So this is 200 millimeters, 230 somewhere here. So that is the size of our foundation concrete. So I can pick this set square and I draw this line upward. So this one I've already marked the 230. I can slide my set square, then complete this part. Normally it's good to get the center line of this. It is 115, eh? Okay. This is 150. 115 is around there. So do the same to this side. So now we can draw our external wall upward. So we can draw our external wall upward. So this is our external wall. So the next is to show our hardcore, and the hardcore depth is, or the thickness is 150 millimeter. So we can use slide our set square and draw the bottom line of the hardcore. Then now we measure 150. So this is the 100 millimeter, 150 is okay. Mark. And we draw 150. So this is the thickness of our hardcore. So the next is to measure the thickness of our side concrete. So we measure 100 millimeter. For the thickness of our side concrete. So we can draw this line for the thickness of our side concrete. But normally the side concrete in other design, it passes through the external walls. It covers all the sides. So I like this design where it covers all the external walls. So we can extend this line up to there. And the sand cement script, we measure 25 millimeter. For the sand cement script, we measure 25 millimeter. So this is 20 millimeter, 25 is somewhere here. So we can draw this line.
Sit.
So that is the line showing the thickness of our what? Of our script. So that is the line showing the thickness of our script. So the script is the sand cement script. Yes, this is good. So we can clean off this because our side concrete is supposed to pass through up to the external wall. So how do we show the section of our concrete? So the section of a concrete, you show it like this. So this is how we can show the section of our concrete. So this one is showing the section of our concrete. Then how do we show the section of a hardcore? So we can use 45 degrees set square to show our hardcore. Done. 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 So this is how we can indicate our hardcore. So as I've shown you, this is side concrete. We can still indicate it. So that is our side concrete. So that's how we can show the section of a concrete. So the next thing to do is to show the section of a squid. Section of a squid, you just want to show the dotted line. The dot like this will show us the squid. So this is our squid, which is 25 millimeter. That's how you can do it. Then the next is we should show our what? Our DPC. So damp-proof membrane, you just only show a line. So we start taking this line to represent our damp-proof course. The damp-proof course is here. We normally place it on top of this, side concrete. But sometimes you put first the APC, which is unproof course, then you put the DPC on APC. But for now, let's just leave it like that. So our DPC is here exactly, and this is going to be our ground level. We are going to show it from outside here. And the ground level, normally we abbreviate it G strap. N. That one so is the ground level. How do we show the section of the ground? So this is how we saw the section of a ground. So all here have to show the section of a ground. So I'm just only indicating to show you the section of the ground. Now, the brickwork, we should also know how to show the section of a brickwork. How do we show the section of a brickwork? Now, we shall use 60 degrees set square, which I normally call it 30 degrees set square, to show the section of a brickwork. So how do we indicate it? A kind of double line like this will show for us the section of brickwork. Our wall. So how do we show it? You put it at an angle of 60, then you put it the way I'm showing you. This, and then this, this, and then this. So this one is showing the section of what? Brick wall. So that is how we can show our brick wall. So now the next thing to do is only naming our drawing. And we have to know what we call also broken line. So what is a broken line? Broken line shows that this side, this hardcore is continuing, but we have stopped it with a broken line so that it is continuation. So how do we show a broken line? We can draw a line like this. Then we leave a gap. After leaving a gap like this, then we can use this. So this is how we show a broken line. So I can connect this line. I've shown you in first term how a broken line look like. So this one we can clean it off. So this broken line shows that our hardcore is continuing, our side concrete is continuing, even the squid is continuing. Other than that, we have stopped it. Our paper cannot now accommodate. So that's what we call broken line. So here also it means this external wall is going upward. The only thing we are going to show to stop it with is using a broken line. So we can also draw another broken line up here. We can also draw another broken line up here. So we draw another broken line up here to show that the wall is continuing upward, except we have stopped it somewhere. So this is how we can show a broken line. Like this. Okay, like this exactly. So this is a broken line. So it shows that the wall is continuing up. And the dimension is 690 by 230. But it depends on the design. So some are going to use even freehand, but you as you should not use freehand. So we have arrow here. This arrow is here. So this is 690 millimeter. Then from here to here, we see that the thickness of this is supposed to be 230. So this is how best you can handle it. You can show an arrow here, arrow here. So I can write this one's 230 millimeter. So this is the depth of our foundation concrete. Then we have here the hardcore, 150 millimeter. Hardcore. So the distance from here to here is 150 millimeter. With and then this one here is let me also show it with the dimension line. Let me show it with the dimension line here. So from here up to here is uh, is 150. Then from here up to here is 100. So 100 millimeter side concrete. Side concrete. I've squeezed the writing so much. And then the next one here is the script. This is 25 millimeter. That is the script. Then we have here our DPC. DPC. We need that. Then this is our external wall. And the thickness is 230. It depends on the design. So for this case is 230 millimeter. And our drawing is solid ground floor. Solid ground floor. So this is what I expect you to do.